It might come as a shock, but did you know that carrying extra weight or being obese can increase your chances of developing 13 different kinds of cancer? Believe it or not, these particular cancers account for a significant 40% of all the cancer diagnoses we see every year in the United States. In this video, we'll discover the hidden connection between obesity and cancer, exploring how excess weight can increase your risk for certain types of cancer. So, let's get started. It's no secret that being overweight can have some serious health implications. Among these, the potential for various types of cancer stands out. Ample scientific studies have painted a clear picture. Suppose you carry extra pounds, particularly in the form of body fat. In that case, you're at a heightened risk for several forms of cancer. Some of these include cancers of the breast, in cases of postmenopausal women, uterus, colon, esophagus, kidney, and pancreas. But we're not exactly sure how all this works. How does obesity magnify the risk of cancer? Well, the experts think it has a lot to do with inflammation, a condition often triggered by what's known as visceral fat. This fat isn't just idly sitting beneath your skin but is stored around your essential organs. An overabundance of this type of fat is problematic because it interferes with your body's functions. More specifically, it messes with managing key hormones in your body, such as insulin and estrogen. This meddling can have dire consequences, potentially spiking your risk of cancer by disturbing the normal life cycle of your cells, the process of how and when they divide and die. The cells that make up your visceral fat are large, and there are plenty of them. This glut of fat leaves little breathing room for oxygen, and when oxygen is low, things start to flare up. We're talking about inflammation. Now, inflammation is not always the bad guy. It's actually part of the body's natural defense mechanism against harm and illness. Just picture what happens when you nick yourself with a knife. The skin around the cut reddens and becomes a little tender, right? That's a minor inflammation that is hard at work, helping to mend the damaged tissue and facilitate healing. However, the plot thickens when inflammation overstays its welcome due to an overload of visceral fat. This long-term inflammation can mean trouble for your body and, alarmingly, up your chances of developing cancer. Cancer isn't a single event but a series of unfortunate circumstances where cells multiply uncontrollably. This unchecked growth damages the cells nearby and leads to disease. As these cells continue to divide and multiply, the stakes get higher. There's an increased possibility that something could go awry, leading to the formation of a tumor. The relationship between inflammation and insulin, a hormone controlling our blood sugar levels, is indeed complicated. When obesity triggers inflammation, it can interfere with the body's proper response to insulin, creating a condition known as insulin resistance. In this case, the body starts producing extra insulin to compensate for the incorrect response. This surge of insulin due to insulin resistance results in an excessive production of cells, and this, unfortunately, can spur the growth of cancer. The heightened insulin level also impacts the control of other hormones, such as estrogen. An increased insulin level equates to an increased availability of estrogen, leading to an escalated risk of cancer. But why does a high estrogen level raise cancer risks? It's because estrogen stimulates the production of cells. An overproduction can lead to the formation of tumors. Estrogen isn't all bad, though. It fulfills a crucial role in our bodies. For women, their ovaries are the primary source of estrogen. Men, on the other hand, have an enzyme that transforms testosterone into estrogen. However, both men's and women's fat cells can also produce estrogen. This is why excess estrogen is often noticed in overweight individuals. In women, having too much estrogen is associated with a higher risk of certain types of cancer, including postmenopausal breast, endometrial, and ovarian cancers. In men, excess estrogen can lead to an increased risk of prostate cancer. But, as we've seen, obesity doesn't just increase the likelihood of cancer through inflammation and insulin resistance. It can also do so by causing hormonal imbalances. For example, being overweight can cause a drop in testosterone levels for men and an increase in testosterone levels for women, both of which have been linked to various types of cancer. Establishing the link between extra body fat and cancer isn't as straightforward as it is for tobacco. Almost half, or around 42%, of cancer cases, particularly prevalent ones like colorectal and postmenopausal breast cancers, are believed to be linked to obesity. However, only a smaller fraction, about 8%, of new cancer diagnoses are directly attributed to being overweight. These diseases often occur in individuals, regardless of their weight status. In the US, we're witnessing a rising trend of obesity, a health concern that's currently affecting about 42% of adults and 20% of our younger population, including kids and teenagers. This comes as no surprise when we consider the increasing number of studies exploring the possible impacts of being overweight on the occurrence of cancer. There's significant evidence that links more than a dozen types of cancers with excessive weight. However, the degree of these links can fluctuate pretty significantly. A couple that really grab our attention are endometrial and esophageal cancers. According to research from 2016 by the IAR, those who were classified as severely obese had a risk for endometrial cancer, which was heightened by a whopping 7 times. Furthermore, for esophageal adenocarcinoma, the risk was almost 5 times greater compared to individuals with a normal body mass index, BMI. However, the risks vary wildly when it comes to other types of cancers. For example, if you have severe obesity, your risk is slightly elevated, only by about 10%, for ovarian cancer relative to those with a normal BMI. The stats are a bit higher for colorectal cancer, where the risk jumps up by 30%. Kidney and stomach cancers see a notable 80% increase in risk with severe obesity. As for postmenopausal breast cancer, for every 5-unit surge in BMI, we see a 10% relative risk increase. Now, if we talk about prevention and solutions, the most obvious starting point is maintaining a healthy weight. This can be achieved through a balanced and nutritious diet, regular exercise, and active lifestyle. But beyond that, it's essential to recognize that obesity isn't just about numbers on a scale, it's about overall health and well-being. And while losing weight may be challenging for some individuals, every small step towards a healthier lifestyle can make a significant impact in reducing your risk of cancer. We can start by making small but sustainable changes in our daily routines, such as healthier food choices, incorporating physical activity into our schedules, and finding ways to manage stress effectively. That's a wrap. We hope you liked the video. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more informative content on health and wellness. Remember, small lifestyle changes can make a big difference in reducing your risk of developing cancer. Take care of yourself and stay healthy.